The four kinds of mindfulness. As we all know, when the Buddha was under the Bodhi tree, the first Dhamma that he practices first dhyana of pagans. Under the Bodhi tree, he remember when he was a young boy sitting under the rose apple tree and practicing to be not attachment subject to the method of first dhyana of pagans. However, at the time, the Buddha did not practice with their evil Dhamma of no attachment, but practiced with his own creation of no attachment, made the Dhamma be certain action of stop evil things, make good things, days and nights, hours by hours, days by days, until the mind was motionless and peaceful and pleased and completely unharmed. The Buddha let his mind be free within 1 days and nights. After being such status in 7 days and nights, he knew that he had attained the enlightenment. When started to practice, the mind was covered by many obstacles, such as waves, so the Buddha tried to stop and eliminate them without stopping. But when these things had not survived, the Buddha felt his mind was motionless, peaceful and pleased and safe. The mind was always set on 4 locations of the body, the feeling, mind, and Dhamma. Therefore, he called the status of his mind as the 4 kinds of mindfulness. Thanks to self-cultivation, Buddhism has the Dhamma of the 4 kinds of mindfulness and the 4 right effort. Among Buddhism basic Dhamma, we usually heard of the 4 kinds of mindfulness and the 4 right effort. Thus, pagans cannot have these Dhamma. These were created by the Buddha. Get back to the point of the Buddha cultivation. When he practiced to that time, he discovered that the stage of his cultivation of first dhyana was different from one of pagans at all aspect. So, he named the Dhamma was the 4 kinds of mindfulness. The 4 kinds of mindfulness are 4 things which we have to hard practice without any delay and lays. They are: 1. Stop evil things, 2. Eliminate evil things, 3. Do good things, 4. Grow good things. Just one name, but it can specify the first dhyana of Buddhism. Thus, the Buddha had also called it by Teen Tu Chu, a really meditative name. It means the method of the first dhyana practice. To practice the first dhyana, we must base on the methods of the 4 kinds of mindfulness. Then the 4's rich effort, not base on the Dhamma of the first dhyana. Because of such a kind of cultivation, never have pagans practice of meditation in this way. At this point, you clearly see the Buddha had changed the practice way of pagans' first dhyana taught for right effort of Buddhism. Buddhism has upset all the teachings of pagans' practice, making them crazy. Especially prayer books of Mahayana and Zen sects are being shaken by the waves of the 4 right effort. When practicing under the teachings of the Buddha, you should remember to practice the 4 right effort, which are the first Dhamma aiming the headquarters of the enemy samsara, so only death blows to stop and eliminate evil things as thunder, typhoon, can prevent and eliminate evil things. When practicing, we bring our fearless and unyielding mighty to fight exactly and powerfully at all death blows. Just this way can prevent and eliminate evil things. Careless practice cannot remove the status of losing consciousness, drowsiness, neutral, obstinacy. You must be very religious practice right dharma, do walking meditation hard. Sitting a lot make lazy. Such practices do not bring us to anywhere, wastes cost and time and effort meaninglessly. In all Dhamma of Buddhism, the 4 right Dharma is a great method to prevent and eliminate evil things. If not, all practitioners will be inhibited regarding to their mind, making good things, grow good things. This statement does not teach us to do charity, doing good things to help the unfortunate in society. Buddha teaches us to live without sufferings for ourselves and for living beings. How to live without sufferings for ourselves and for living beings, as it has been taught in the Dhamma of the Four Right Effort by the Buddha: make good things, grow good things. The good things here means motionless, peace, pleasure, safety in mind. Not only doing good things, always preserving and protecting the mind of motionlessness is a really good thing, completely good thing. This the true goodness help not suffer ourselves and living beings. Since the goodness of motionless mind is the purpose of goodness, and the truth of Buddhism. If someone always live with it, those people have attained the enlightenment, so it is easy to attain the Buddhism truth. Not difficult at all. For meditation, at the beginning, the Buddha practiced the first dhyana of pagans, but he could create Dhamma of the really practice in order to leave from passion and evil things, and to master the birth, aging, sickness and the death. It means he could master his body and mind. Finally, the Buddha reached the status of freedom by Dhamma of the four kinds of mindfulness, not by the first dhyana of pagans. When being successful in the Dhamma of the four kinds of mindfulness, the Buddha found the four means of accomplishment. Having had the four means of accomplishment, the Buddha used remembrance of thorough investigation of the principles sentence, mind of dispassion and leaving evil things attains and resigns for the first time, a status of happiness thanks to learning from craving, reflection and investigation. The Buddha's mind and body entered into a status of the first jhana, including 5 clear limbs of enlightenment. 1. Initial application. 2. Sustained application. 3. One-pointedness. 4. Zest. 5. Happiness. After entering into the first jhana, the Buddha logged out of the first jhana to come back to the status of freedom. When being free, the Buddha used the sentence in remembrance of thorough investigation of the principle, destroying initial application and attain and reside in the second meditation, a status of being happiness and joyous caused mind created without initial application and sustained application, and being unanimous. Upon intendance completed, he entered into the second meditation immediately. 6 means of perception stop working. There is only one status of zest made by the second jhana. Meditation includes 1. Zest caused by mindfulness. 2. Happiness caused by mindfulness. 3. The mind's awakening is the awakening of mind and body. After entering into the second jhana, meditation, the Buddha logged out by the mindfulness of miraculous powers. Therefore, when entering into the 4 meditation, he had to use mindfulness of miraculous powers with the quotation in remembrance of thorough investigation of the principle renunciation of joyous, of sufferings, destruction of concentration which was initially felt, attaining and residing the 4th meditation without suffering, joyous, and get free for freedom in order to let his body and his mind be out of joyous and suffering, eliminate happiness and get away from peace. So, enter into the 4 meditation is get away from all of feelings. If we want to do that, breath must be mindful. Therefore, there is a very great sentence to enter the 4 meditation in remembrance of thorough investigation of the principle. Buddhism is wonderful at being master of breath. Easily control it. And to control breath is to control lives. So, if we want to stop breathing, we must enter into the 4 meditation. It is a method to control breath. Thus, the purpose of entering into the 4th meditation is being master of life and death. You should note this. Threefold knowledge. If we want to use threefold knowledge, there is only sufficient of contemplation can control it. Threefold knowledge includes One recollection of past life means an aware of many lives of us, of other people in the past and in the future. If we want to use recollection of past life, we have to use sufficiency of contemplation. 2. Knowledge of the passing away and reappearance of beings means the light of light can observe all of the things in space and universe, no matter how long, far it is. If we want to use knowledge of the passing away and reappearance of beings, we have to use sufficiency of desire first. 3. Knowledge of destruction of cankers. The bright knowledge of remembrance can observe to the bottom our mind, remove the restriction, there is only the freedom left. If we want to do that, we have to use sufficiency of energy. When get bright knowledge of remembrance, the restriction is eliminated. These as above are knowledge which monks practiced to reach, but they rarely use them, because their minds are free. This means they always live with motionlessness, peace, happiness in their minds. So if they have a bad mood, they stay calm well.